There is something strange about old hotels. People sleep in the same rooms night after night, year after year. Hundreds of strangers. Thousands of dreams. And sometimes, something stays behind. This story takes place in a small hotel just outside of a quiet town. It wasn't fancy, only 3 floors, a long front desk, and rows of rooms that all looked the same. The kind of place that travelers stopped for one night and then completely forgot about. But the workers there remembered one room, room 312. Most guests never noticed anything strange, but the night manager did. Her name was Sarah. Sarah had worked at the hotel for almost 5 years now. She worked the late shift, from 11 p.m. until morning. Most nights were peaceful. She checked guests in, answered the phone, then sat behind the front desk while the building slept. The hotel was always quiet after midnight. Almost too quiet. The halls would stretch long and empty, the carpet would swallow the sound of footsteps, and the lights in the hallway hummed softly. One night around 2 a.m., Sarah heard the elevator ding. She looked up from the front desk, the doors opened, but no one stepped out. Sarah frowned. Maybe someone had pressed the button on another floor. It happens sometimes. So she went back to her book. A few minutes later, the phone rang. The sound echoed through the quiet lobby. Sarah picked it up. "Front desk," she said. No answer. Just silence. Then, a soft breathing sound, slow and quiet. Like someone standing very close to the phone. "Hello?" Sarah said again. Still nothing. Then the line went dead. Sarah shrugged. Wrong number, probably. Or someone calling the wrong room. She went back to reading. Then the elevator dinged again. Sarah looked up, the doors opened, but still no one. Now she felt a little uneasy. She stood up, walked to the elevator. The small screen above the doors showed the number 3. Someone had called the elevator from the 3rd floor. But no one had come down. Sarah stepped inside. The elevator smelled faintly like old carpet and metal. She pressed the button for the 3rd floor. The doors slid closed. The elevator hummed as it moved upwards. A few seconds later, ding, the doors opened. The 3rd floor hallway stretched out in front of her. Long, quiet, and dim. The lights were softer, almost yellow. Sarah stepped out of the elevator. The hallway was empty. Doors lined both sides. Room numbers glowing in small brass plates. She walked slowly down the hallway. Everything looked normal. Until she reached room 312. The door was slightly open, just a crack. Sarah stopped walking. That was strange. The room should have been empty. No one had checked in there that night. She stepped closer and gently pushed the door open. The room was dark. The curtains were drawn. Moonlight barely touched the carpet. "Hello?" she called. No one answered. So she stepped inside. The room smelled cold, like a window had been open for a long time. The bed was neatly made. The bathroom light was off. Everything looked untouched. Sarah turned to leave. Then the phone in the room rang. The sudden sound made her jump. She stared at the phone, and it rang again and again, until finally she picked it up. "Hello?" For a moment there was silence. Then she heard something faint. A whisper. so quiet she could barely understand it. "Don't leave." Sarah's heart started beating faster. Who is this?" she asked. But the line went dead. The room fell silent once more. Sarah slowly set the phone down. Then she noticed something strange. The bathroom door was open now. She was sure it had been closed before. The light inside flickered softly. Sarah took a slow step toward it. The bathroom was empty. But the mirror above the sink was fogged, like someone had just taken a hot shower. On the mirror, 3 words were written, drawn with a finger in the fog. "Stay with me." Sarah felt a cold chill run down her back. She left the room immediately, locked the door, and went back to the front desk. Morning finally came. Sunlight filled the lobby. Guests started checking out. The normal noise of the day had returned. Sarah told the hotel owner what had happened. The owner listened quietly. Then he sighed. "Room 312 again?" he said. Sarah looked confused. "What do you mean again?" The owner leaned back in his chair. "Years ago," he said slowly, "a man stayed in that room. He checked in alone, but something wasn't right. He kept calling the front desk. Late at night, he said he didn't want to be alone." Sarah felt a chill. "What happened to him?" she asked. The owner looked towards the hallway. Then he answered. "One night, the calls just stopped. They found him in the room the next morning." Sarah stared at him. "In the bathroom," the owner added quietly. That night, Sarah refused to go back to the 3rd floor. But something strange still happened. Around 2 a.m., the front desk phone rang. Sarah answered softly. "Front desk." Silence. Then a whisper. Soft. Lonely. "Room 312. Sarah hung up the phone. She never answered another call from that room again. But sometimes, late at night, when the hotel is quiet, guests staying near room 312 say they hear something through the walls. A phone ringing. Over and over and over.